First, understand your identity and then present yourself accordingly. Do not allow others to set the standards by which you will judge yourself. How often have you sacrificed something significant for someone else, believing it would fix everything? You gave up your time, your energy, perhaps even your aspirations, all in the name of maintaining peace or making someone happy. Deep down, you convince yourself it is worthwhile, that one day you will regain it all. However, the harsh reality is this: when we continuously give fragments of ourselves away, we lose sight of our true selves. We start to feel depleted, stretched thin, as though we are living not for ourselves, but for the expectations of others. This feeling impacts every aspect of our lives, affecting our happiness, health, and sense of purpose. Today, I want to discuss something the ancient Stoics understood well: the importance of discerning what to hold on to and what to let go of. The Stoics excelled at safeguarding their inner peace, maintaining stability regardless of life's chaos. They recognized that to lead a truly fulfilling life, there are certain things we should never sacrifice, regardless of who or what demands it. In this video, we will delve into 5 things you should never relinquish for anyone: your self-respect, health, dreams, values, and happiness. Each of these is integral to your being, and once lost, they are challenging to regain. If you feel adrift or that you are sacrificing too much for others, keep watching. Today is not solely about self-preservation. It is about reclaiming your inner strength and purpose, drawing wisdom from Stoic philosophy to cling to what truly matters. Life is invaluable, and you are too precious to allow anyone or anything to strip away the core aspects of your identity. Let's explore. Marcus Aurelius believed that compromising our self-respect means losing our connection with our true selves. Living contrary to our values and dignity creates inner conflict, he argued. An emperor himself, he chose a life of discipline and honor instead of mere indulgence, understanding that self-respect is crucial for fulfillment. Setting boundaries is key to protecting self-respect. Though it can be daunting, society teaches us to prioritize others' comfort over our own. But the Stoics would say true peace comes from within. Saying no when needed is courageous and essential for maintaining self-worth. Boundaries serve as guidelines, indicating how we should be treated by others and reminding us of our own value. This is where Stoicism guides us once more. Stoic philosophy focuses on distinguishing what we can control from what we cannot. We may not be able to dictate how others respond to our boundaries or choices, but we can manage our dedication to self-respect. If someone responds negatively to our boundaries, labeling us as troublesome or self-centered, that reflects on them, not on us. Those who genuinely appreciate us will honor our boundaries out of a sincere respect for us. The Stoics emphasize that authentic relationships and true friendships are built on mutual respect and empathy, rather than on personal gain. Let's talk about the fear of losing people. It's common to worry that if we establish boundaries, people may choose to leave. However, it's important to remember that those who walk away when we prioritize self-respect were not truly committed to us in the first place. Epictetus teaches us that our goal is not to please everyone or conform to their expectations. Instead, we should strive to live authentically and honor our own worth. Self-respect means accepting that not everyone will agree with or appreciate our boundaries, and that's perfectly fine. When we value ourselves, we set a standard that others will take notice of, even if they don't openly acknowledge it. By standing firm in our self-respect, we show that we won't tolerate disrespect, manipulation, or undervaluing. In time, we will attract people who genuinely value and respect us, fostering deeper connections based on mutual understanding. Let's be real. We've all witnessed individuals who settle for less than they deserve, allowing themselves to be treated as though they are worth less than they truly are. Observing from the outside, we often question why individuals remain in situations that do not benefit them. However, how frequently do we ourselves find stuck in similar circumstances? So, if you currently feel like you are constantly sacrificing your self-respect to maintain peace and make others comfortable, take a moment to reflect. What are you truly gaining? Is it worth compromising your essence and dignity? The Stoics believe that nothing external is worth jeopardizing the inner peace that stems from self-respect. Ultimately, Self-respect is not only about how others treat you, but also about how you treat yourself. Do you show compassion to yourself? Do you show compassion to yourself? Do you prioritize your needs and set boundaries? Or do you consistently prioritize others over yourself? Remember, once you start valuing yourself, you create a shield around your inner peace. No one can strip that away unless you allow them. Self-respect serves as the armor that anchors you when faced with life's challenges. The remarkable thing is that the more you respect yourself, the less you seek approval or validation from others. You will discover that you are living authentically, in harmony with who you truly are, following the teachings of the Stoics. Self-respect is not just an occasional practice. It is a way of life. Protect it fiercely because once attained, everything else falls into place. When it comes to health, we understand that nothing else matters without it. Nonetheless, we continually postpone taking care of ourselves, convincing ourselves that we will tend to it once everything else is handled. There are work commitments, responsibilities, deadlines, and people relying on us. And then, almost as an afterthought, there is our health. The Stoics would argue that we have the wrong approach. Health is not something to sacrifice for later. It is the essential foundation for everything else. If we do not prioritize our health, if we neglect caring for our bodies and minds, how can we expect to excel in anything else? Marcus Aurelius grasped this concept profoundly. He frequently reminded himself, and consequently us, that our bodies are sacred vessels that carry us through life. In his meditations, he emphasized the importance of nurturing our bodies as part of our self-duty. Stoicism teaches us to honor our nature, which includes our physical and mental well-being. Disregarding this aspect is like expecting a tree to bear fruit without watering it. It is simply ineffective. The Stoics would challenge us to consider where true happiness comes from. It's not in chasing external rewards or sacrificing our well-being for the sake of success. Instead, they would remind us that happiness is found in living in alignment with our values, cultivating inner peace, and finding contentment in the present moment. In their view, true happiness, or eudaimonia, is about flourishing, living well, and embodying virtue. It's not about fleeting pleasures or external validation. So, the next time we are tempted to delay our happiness in pursuit of external markers of success, let's pause and remember the Stoic wisdom. True happiness comes from within, from living with integrity and finding peace in who we are. Marcus Aurelius, burdened by the empire's weight, understood the significance of finding peace in the present moment. He cautioned against always looking ahead and believing that happiness lies in future accomplishments. Instead, he urged himself to seek contentment within, in the simplicity of the now. Protecting our happiness involves being mindful of how and where we direct our energy. It's easy to invest in things that leave us feeling drained, such as unfulfilling jobs, one-sided relationships, or obligations that don't align with our priorities. When we continually give our energy to draining pursuits, happiness slips away. Epictetus would advise us to be deliberate in where we focus our energy. He emphasized our role in creating and maintaining our peace of mind, highlighting that nobody else can do it for us. It's our responsibility to nurture and safeguard our happiness from those who might diminish it. The Stoics embraced the concept of ataraxia, defined as serenity or being undisturbed. It is a mental state free from being swayed by outside circumstances or societal pressures. Picture a life where your well-being is not dictated by others' views and where you are not consumed by concerns about external perceptions. According to the Stoics, genuine happiness arises from finding inner tranquility by concentrating on what is within our control and releasing what is not. By fixating on things outside our control, such as seeking approval from others or the unpredictable nature of life, we surrender our happiness. The Stoics advise us to focus on our own values and accept ourselves amidst the chaos. Setting boundaries is also crucial for maintaining happiness and peace in life. Our boundaries are a representation of our needs for wholeness, wellness, and peace. Despite this, we frequently allow our boundaries to blur. How frequently do we agree to things we don't want to do, simply to prevent letting others down? The Stoics would underscore that our happiness is not selfish. but rather our duty. Being happy doesn't entail isolation or removing people from our lives, but it does involve being truthful about what brings us joy and what diminishes it. If someone fails to respect your boundaries, the Stoics suggest that they may not be in line with your values and goals. Happiness also involves practicing gratitude and focusing on what we have rather than what we lack. Seneca frequently discussed the concept of enough. We used to think that happiness should not be about acquiring more, but about valuing what we already possess. It's simple to fall into the trap of thinking that we will only be happy once we acquire more. More wealth, more achievements, more acknowledgement. Yet Seneca would advise us to stop and take a moment to observe. Do you have individuals who show concern for you? Do you have good health? Do you experience moments of tranquility, no matter how brief? If that is the case, happiness can be found in the present moment. The Stoics embraced gratitude every day, not only as a concept, but as a way to stay connected to reality and significance. It is also important to consider self-compassion, as taking care of our own happiness begins with self-care. The Stoics upheld the importance of being gentle with oneself and acknowledging our own imperfections. We will inevitably make mistakes, come up short, and experience off days. Rather than being hard on ourselves, we should practice self-compassion and treat ourselves with the same understanding and kindness we would show a friend. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the significance of acknowledging our own flaws and recognizing our humanity in his personal writings. Practicing self-compassion allows happiness to flourish by releasing impossible standards and embracing our imperfect journey. It's important to note that happiness doesn't come from constant pleasure. According to the Stoics, true happiness cannot be found by simply seeking pleasure or avoiding pain. Life will inevitably bring us trials, difficult days, and valuable lessons. Sometimes experiencing pain or adversity is necessary for personal growth and self-improvement. The Stoics thought that happiness didn't come from avoiding difficulty, but from developing resilience and finding purpose even during challenging times. According to Epictetus, hardship allows us to better understand ourselves. Instead of dreading tough situations, the Stoics encouraged us to embrace them as chances to grow. In order to develop our character and uncover a happiness that comes from resilience rather than comfort, it's important to understand that happiness is not a destination. It's a daily practice that involves nurturing inner peace instead of seeking it externally. This requires being mindful of who and what we let into our lives, setting boundaries to protect your inner peace, embracing gratitude, and releasing the constant pursuit of more. Above all, prioritizing decisions that align with your true self. True happiness comes from staying authentic to yourself, not from conforming to other standards. According to the Stoics, finding contentment in the present is key. In order to develop gratitude, strengthen resilience, and release control over things outside of our influence, we establish a happiness that is unshakable. This happiness is not showy or reliant on the ups and downs of life. It is a calm, consistent joy that stems from the understanding that you are living with meaning and honesty. Ultimately, true happiness lies in this realization. Choose long-lasting fulfillment over temporary pleasure and constant excitement. Find peace by living in harmony with your values. Prioritize your happiness. Don't allow anyone to persuade you that it's self-centered to prioritize your peace, to pursue happiness, to lead a life that brings you joy. Happiness is not something to be earned through hard work, but rather an essential component of a fulfilling life that is accessible to you in the present moment. According to the Stoics, we already possess all the necessary elements for happiness within ourselves. The key is to nurture and preserve it while releasing anything that hinders it. Protect your happiness with determination, as by doing so, you are embracing a life that is true to your core identity. As we conclude, keep in mind the importance of your self-respect, health, dreams, values, and happiness. These pillars define your identity and should be safeguarded at all costs. Despite challenges and pressure from others to sacrifice them, these are the aspects of life that are truly worth prioritizing. In a world full of distractions, staying committed to what truly matters is not just a sign of strength, but a declaration of freedom. We appreciate your presence in Stoic Journal. If you enjoyed today's journey, continue to expand your mindset by watching one of the suggested videos on the screen. Remember to prioritize self-care until we meet again.